Cravings are not just about food. They are about everything we chase: success, attention, comfort, love, pleasure, recognition. Every day we run after something: a taste, a feeling, a dream that promises fulfillment. We stretch our hands toward it, believing that once we reach it, peace will finally stay. Yet the moment we touch it, it slips through our fingers and the search begins again. Have you noticed? When one desire ends, another quietly takes its place, like waves on the shore, rising, falling, rising again, each one whispering, "This time it will be enough." But it never is. The mind always hungers for more. A little more success, a little more comfort, a little more validation. We chase endlessly, believing the next thing will complete us. We climb one mountain only to see another peak waiting beyond the clouds. And in that moment, the joy we expected to feel fades into mist. And deep inside, a quiet voice asks, when will it be enough? Craving is not your enemy. It is the messenger of your own restlessness, a fire that can either illuminate or consume. When you run from it, it follows. When you fight it, it grows stronger. When you feed it, it returns even hungrier. But when you turn and look directly into its eyes, it begins to reveal its nature. Who is craving right now? Is it your body, reaching for sensation? Your mind, seeking control? Or is it the emptiness within you, longing to be filled with meaning? With belonging, we live in a world that feeds our hunger and starves our awareness. We are taught to reach outward for things, for recognition, for the next rush of pleasure, and to forget the quiet space within where peace has always lived. Imagine for a moment, you are standing beside a still lake. No wind, no ripples. The air is calm. The water mirrors the sky. You throw a stone, a thought, a desire, and watch the circles move outward. That movement is craving. That disturbance is the mind in motion. And the lake calm, vast, silent is your awareness. When the ripples fade, the reflection of the sky returns. And in that stillness, you begin to see who you truly are. In the next few moments, we will explore 5 things you must know about cravings before it's too late. Not to suppress them, not to destroy them, but to understand the quiet truth they carry. Because once you see the nature of craving clearly, it no longer pulls you. It becomes a teacher, a mirror, a path back to yourself. Let us begin. The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. When it serves you, it helps you build, create, explore, understand. But when it masters you, it turns every thought into a command, every emotion into a chain. It leads you in circles from one craving to another, from one promise to another, never resting, never content. Craving controls you in silence. It hides in the spaces between your thoughts. It speaks not with volume, but with seduction. It whispers softly, just one more look, just one more taste, just one more time. And so we obey, We chase money. We chase validation. We chase the thrill of being seen, the comfort of being loved, the illusion of being safe and certain. But what happens each time you catch what you chase? For a brief moment, there is light, a spark of satisfaction, a flash of joy, like lightning across the night sky. And then, almost instantly, the fire fades and the hunger returns. You start to wonder, was it ever enough? Or was it only another trick of the mind? Another mirage in the desert? Another wave that promised peace and left you stranded again on the shore? The nature of craving is like drinking salty water to quench your thirst. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to serve the thirst itself. Your thoughts revolve around it. Your energy bends toward it. Your days become an orbit around desire, around fear of losing it, around the illusion that something out there can fill what feels missing in here. But nothing outside can fill the space within you, because that space is not emptiness, it is consciousness waiting to be remembered. Stillness waiting to be heard. Craving is clever. It wears many masks. Sometimes it calls itself ambition. Sometimes love. Sometimes it disguises itself as motivation or self-improvement. But beneath every mask, the same whisper remains: I am not enough yet. We chase success because we fear failure. We crave attention because we fear being invisible. We chase pleasure because we fear the silence of our own company. And fear, that quiet, hidden fear, is what craving feeds upon. It is not the desire itself that binds you. It is your identification with it. You think, I am the one who wants. But what if you are not? What if you are the one who simply sees the wanting? Imagine your mind as a restless ocean. Every thought, every craving, a wave rising and crashing, sparkling in the sunlight. Then gone, you cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to stop drowning in them. You can learn to watch them rise and fall without losing yourself in their motion. This is where freedom begins. There's a story told by the monks of old. A young seeker came to his master and said, Master, I feel trapped by my desires. Every time I fulfill one, another comes. When will I be free? The master smiled and said, when you stop believing that every wave is you, craving controls you because you keep calling it mine. My need, my dream, my passion. But when you learn to watch it without naming it, you begin to see its impermanence. Craving rises. It burns for a while. It dances like fire in the wind. And then it fades, leaving only the echo of your attachment behind. When you see this clearly, you no longer chase, you no longer run, you simply understand. The mind loses its power when the watcher awakens. Because in that still awareness, no craving can survive for long. So the next time the whisper comes, just one more pause. Do not fight it. Do not follow it. Simply watch, look at it gently. As a parent watching a child's brief storm of emotion, smile and say, I see you. And in that simple act of seeing, you have already begun to be free. They call it the monkey mind. Restless, impulsive, always jumping from branch to branch, from thought to thought, from memory to fantasy, from craving to fear. Never still, never satisfied. The monkey mind lives inside all of us. It chatters endlessly, pulling our attention from the quiet now into the chaos of what was and what might be. One moment, it dreams of the future. The next, it worries about the past. It swings through the forest of the mind, making noise, seeking fruit, never noticing the sky above it, the vast, silent awareness that holds everything. If you close your eyes right now, you can probably hear it. That inner voice, constantly narrating, judging, comparing, planning. The mind says, I need this. I should have done that. I must not fail. I want to feel better. And like a mischievous monkey, it jumps every time a new fruit appears, a new idea, a new distraction, a new craving. But the truth is, the monkey is not evil. It is simply untamed. It acts from habit, not from wisdom. For years, it has learned that movement means safety, that chasing means control, that silence means danger. So it keeps running from one thought to the next, from one desire to another, believing that stillness is death. Yet stillness is the very thing that gives it peace. The monkey mind cannot be silenced by force. If you fight it, it fights back. If you suppress it, it screams louder. If you chase it, it hides behind another thought. Only awareness can tame it. Only gentle observation can calm its heart. Imagine sitting under a great tree in the forest. You watch the monkey above you, how it leaps, how it screams, how it reaches for every branch. You don't shout. You don't chase. You simply watch. After a while, the monkey notices your stillness. It becomes curious. It slows down. It comes closer. And one day, it rests beside you, silent. That is what meditation truly is. Not controlling the mind, but understanding it. Not fighting thoughts, but seeing them as passing clouds in the open sky of awareness. When the monkey mind is unobserved, it rules you. It tells you what to want, what to fear, what to regret. But when it is seen clearly, gently, patiently, it begins to lose its power. You realize you are not the monkey. You are the sky in which the monkey plays. The thoughts come and go, but you remain silent, present, unmoved. Many people think peace means no thoughts, but real peace is different. It means thoughts can come, and you no longer follow them. It means the monkey can jump, and you no longer jump with it. It means you can watch craving arise and not be carried away. You can feel fear and still remain calm. You can experience desire and yet stay rooted in awareness. That is mastery, not domination, but understanding. So when the mind starts to run again, don't panic. Just notice the monkey is active today. Smile at it. Let it dance. Let it chatter, but don't let it hold your leash. Slowly, moment by moment, the monkey learns your stillness. It feels your calm like sunlight on its skin. And one day, It climbs down from the branches and sits beside you in silence. In that silence, you meet your true nature, not as thought, not as craving, but as pure, open awareness. The waves of thought still move, but they no longer disturb the ocean. The monkey still lives, but it no longer rules the forest. And in that gentle balance between movement and stillness, you begin to remember you were never the monkey. You were always the one watching. When the monkey begins to settle, another power awakens within you, quiet, invisible, yet more profound than thought. It is the power of observation. Observation is not thinking. It is not analyzing, judging, or comparing. It is deeper, a kind of seeing without words, a listening without sound, a still presence behind every thought, watching the dance of the mind without stepping onto the stage. Most people believe they are their thoughts, that every emotion, every craving, every fear is who they are. But when observation arises, a quiet revolution begins. You realize something extraordinary. You are not what you think. You are the one who sees the thinking. You are the one who silently knows. I am aware that a thought has appeared, and that single realization is the first doorway to freedom. The masters call observation the sword of awareness, not because it wounds, but because it cuts cleanly, silently, through illusion and confusion. When you observe a craving, you separate yourself from it. You see it clearly for what it is, a wave of energy, a movement of the nervous system, a flicker of thought, temporary and impermanent. The sword of observation does not fight craving. It does not destroy it. It simply sees, and in that pure seeing, the illusion loses its power to command you. When you look deeply into a craving, you notice how it begins. It starts as a small vibration in the body, a tightening in the chest, a stirring in the belly, a thought that whispers, I need. Then comes the story. If I have this, I'll be happy. If I lose this, I'll suffer. And without awareness, the story becomes your world. You start to live inside it, forgetting that you are the one watching it unfold. But when you observe, you begin to see the whole process as it happens. You see the spark before the flame. You feel the wave before it breaks. You watch the thought rise and fade. And instead of reacting, you simply watch, like a mirror reflecting sunlight. You let it pass through you without resistance, without grasping, without judgment. Observation transforms the experience. What once controlled you becomes transparent. You begin to see craving not as an enemy, but as a teacher wearing a mask. Each time you observe without reacting, a new strength grows in you, the strength of stillness, the power of clarity. Observation is not cold detachment. It is not apathy. It is warm presence, a gentle gaze that allows everything to be exactly as it is. You do not force the mind to change. You do not push craving away. You simply illuminate it, and light, by its very nature, transforms whatever it touches. So, the next time desire arises, don't rush to suppress it. Don't label it as bad. Sit with it. Feel its pulse. sense its texture, its temperature, its rhythm. Watch how it moves through you like a small flame searching for air. And ask gently, who is craving right now? You will notice something subtle. The moment you ask, a space appears, a gap between the observer and the observed. And in that gap, freedom begins to breathe. Craving can only survive in the darkness of unconscious reaction. When awareness shines upon it, it dissolves like mist in the gentle light of dawn. Observation is the art of turning inward, of looking into your own reflection until you no longer see the face of the seeker, but the vast, open stillness behind the eyes. That stillness has no name, no form, no age. It is older than your body, wider than your mind, and quieter than silence itself. From that stillness, you can see everything clearly. The rise of thought, the pull of emotion, the flicker of desire, the trembling of fear, all moving through the space of awareness like clouds drifting across an endless sky. To observe is to return home. Because in observation, you stop running, you stop chasing, you stop trying to fix what was never broken. You simply are no longer a prisoner of the mind, no longer bound by the next craving. You stand at the center of your being, balanced, silent, awake. The art of observation is the art of freedom. To see clearly is to be free, not free from desire, but free within desire. Not free from thought, but free amidst thought. Because once you know you are the watcher, the waves can rise and fall. The monkey can leap and shout. The fire of craving can still burn, but none of it can touch you anymore. You were never the noise. You were never the craving. You were always the silence that sees. There comes a moment when the mind grows quiet. The chase slows. The waves begin to rest. And you begin to feel something subtle, something almost forgotten, a natural peace that was never gone, only hidden beneath the noise. You start to notice a strange calm in the space where craving used to live. It's not the peace of achievement, not the pleasure of getting what you wanted. It's a different kind of peace, the kind that arrives when nothing more is needed. When you finally stop running, craving is movement. Freedom is stillness. For so long, we believed happiness was found at the end of desire, after the next goal, after the next taste, after the next victory. But true freedom does not come when desire is fulfilled. It comes when desire no longer commands you. When you can see the craving rise and fall like waves on the ocean, and you remain the ocean itself, deep, vast, unmoved. Freedom beyond craving is not about suppression. It is about understanding. When you understand the nature of the fire, you no longer fear the flame. You can feel desire without being burned by it. You can experience thought without being lost inside it. You can witness pain without calling it suffering. And in that simple, profound shift from identification to awareness, everything changes. You begin to taste stillness. In the middle of motion, you begin to hear silence in the center of sound. You begin to discover peace not as something to reach for, but as something you already are. Freedom beyond craving is not the absence of life. It is the fullness of presence. It is living without resistance, without the endless push and pull between wanting and not wanting. When you no longer chase what comes and goes, you begin to see what never moves. Look deeper. The waves of emotion still rise. The monkey still stirs. The body still hungers. The heart still feels. But underneath it all, a vast, calm awareness remains. That awareness is your true home. It does not belong to time. It is not born. And it cannot die. It watches everything, but is untouched by everything. It holds both the storm and the calm, the light and the shadow, the craving and the freedom. It is the space that allows everything to exist, and yet is bound by nothing at all. Many people spend their whole lives trying to control the waves, but the wise learn to rest as the ocean. When you rest as the ocean, you no longer resist what comes. You no longer cling to what leaves. You allow life to move through you with grace, with ease, with trust. This is not passivity. It is the highest form of intelligence to act when action is needed, to rest when rest is right, to flow with life, not against it. It is the art of surrender without defeat, the strength of softness, the wisdom of stillness. Freedom beyond craving is not a distant state to reach. It is the quiet recognition of what has always been here, the watcher, the witness, the still point at the center of all experience. Even now, as you listen to these words, notice the awareness that is hearing, that space in which every word appears, that is you, and that you has never craved, never chased, never suffered. It has only watched with infinite patience, infinite love, and infinite openness. When you live from that awareness, life becomes simple again. You eat, you walk, you love, you rest. Desires come and go like clouds in the sky. You follow some, you let others pass, but none of them define you anymore. Because you finally know you were never the craving, you were always the awareness. So when the mind begins to stir again, when the next wave rises, remember this. You are the ocean wide, silent, timeless. Waves will come and go, but the ocean remains. And in that knowing, there is peace, not peace that depends on silence, but peace that sings even through the storm. Observe, watch, breathe, be still. This is freedom beyond craving. Now, let everything become quiet. Let the breath soften, the body release, the mind dissolve back into stillness. No more seeking, no more striving to become someone. Just breathe, feel the air entering and leaving. Each breath a reminder, you are already whole, already complete. The waves rest, the mind softens, awareness shines clear, boundless, infinite. Notice this silence. It is not emptiness. It is fullness alive. Breathing, aware. You were never the craving. You were always the awareness. You were never the storm. You were the sky that held it all. So stay here. In this moment, no past, no future. Only this breath, only this seeing, Observe, watch, breathe, be still, be here, be free.